you can only download it onto Windows or computers. That sucks.
But the good news is that Travis is slightly too intelligent to be included in this year's running for Dumb Fuck of the Year.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that had to be a criteria.
If you have some modicum of intelligence, you typically don't win or make the list. But you also have to not be insane. So that's why Pete Shea has not been allowed to be on the list. Which is why
which one's more unbelievable is the fact that the fact that the ether band is completely debunked, or the fact that Rumpus
Wow, Sean, what the hell was that?
You just electrocuted yourself, Sean.
Yeah, it sounded like it. Don't stick your finger in the electrical socket.
Yep, exactly.
I have a time qualification for Mars. If it is 0532 GMT, on Mars it is currently 1648 and 57 minutes.
Yeah, but whereabouts on Mars?
At GMT Mars. Come on now.
Coordinated Mars time, 1449. So it'll be whichever position is facing us.
As opposed to Greenwich Mean Time, it's Greenwich Mars time.
Pretty much.
Nice.
Well, actually, it'll be AMT.
GMT.
AMT.
AMT.
It'll be alien Mars time.
Okay, Brits, it's now up to you to make it to Mars first and make the first location Greenwich. I realize as I say this out to everyone, there are no Brits on the panel.
Terry left. He says we have to behave.
Why did he burb?
Are you saying Mom left us alone at the beach? That's the best day ever.
So yeah, before we go live, I have 6 custom knives I'm making next week.
We are live.
No shit.
No shit.
Hey, chat, if you want, there are 6 custom knives. Go onto Crash's Discord and order them.
Oh, hang on. No, look,
Yeah.
3 minutes, apparently. I don't know. YouTube's cracking the shits at me.
No,
Does this sound any better?
we're live. Yeah, that's better.
Much better.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Like after you got about 5 or 6 seconds in, it would sound like quite literally you had your phone plugged into an electrical storm.
Yeah, I noticed that once I hopped over to off the panel on the Sean G's, it did that, and I was like, oh, I wonder what's going on with it. I don't know. I may have to clean the headphones. Probably got paint in them or something like that.
Says the painter.
Yeah, but no, I was saying I don't know which one's more unbelievable. Was the fact that the ether band was totally debunked today, or the fact that Rumpus and Pete Shea agreed today.
Well, what did they agree to is a good question, though.
It was something against Travis, to tell you the truth.
What in the world is the world coming to? Ether bands debunked. Travis unified 2 ridiculously opposed individuals.
Yeah, 2 opposing forces have come together to put shit on him.
Yeah. And the worst part is you can't undo that dog pile. Neither one of them will ever fucking stop talking.
Oh man, it was so terrible. It was so terrible today. I just couldn't handle it.
It was beautiful. It was like watching a swan die.
So glad I was working this morning.
You'd have thrown another shovelhead off a platform. It sounds like.
Well,
Oh,
you know how Pete Shea gets. He just starts going. He starts off fine, and then he starts going off on the deep end, and you're like, okay, well, we've reached insanity.
yeah, quickly.
Yeah, when it gets to that point, I just get off the panel. The hell with it.
Yeah, Pete Shea doesn't have like levels. It just goes from one to the other.
There's actually there's an animated video story online that's very similar to Pete Shea. It's like somebody gets a knock on the door, get outside, someone's panicked, like, man, you gotta help me out. There's someone in my apartment. Can you call the police for me? He's like, I'm not gonna call him. Hands in the phone. It's like, you can tell him whatever you want to. Get a hold of the police. Guy's sitting there listening to his neighbor talking on the phone. It's like, yeah, there's some guys who are breaking in my apartment. I don't know what they're doing. They're tearing apart my couch and they've got a can of gas. And one of them, guy's got no body. It just immediately flips from something plausible to something fucking ludicrous in 10 seconds flat.
Was it written by Pete's kids?
This is what happens to my daddy.
It was actually from God, what's the name of that channel? Rooster Teeth. Rooster Teeth Animated Adventures. It's from their podcast where they're telling just different stories of life. Apparently, the police showed up and they found the guy had been trying to build the spaceship out of parts in his house and crazy shit. And it was just ludicrous.
Yeah, but that sounds like Florida Man.
Yeah, that was Texas Man though. Might have been Aaron. Who knows?
Yeah, how did that vote go? Weren't you guys voting to see if Aaron would be allowed on?
Yeah, that's what I was doing. And I was just about to say to him in the chat, I said, you might have got voted off the island.
Brian got triggered. Yeah, Brian will get triggered in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, I'll be forced to leave the panel because I can't deal with him this many beers deep.
But he does do stupid things with super chats this many beers.
We
Yeah,
can't do
think of how many subs you could get.
Well, actually, I'm doing a fund. Actually,
ahead.
I'm doing a fundraising at the moment. If anyone can donate as much as they can to my PayPal or whatever you call it, because I'm trying to raise some funds for subs.
Going the Kyle Curtis route, I see.
That's the plan.
Pretty sure you can get some subs with that too.
You have to wonder how many subs Red Pill Philosophies actually bought.
I have no idea. He's not doing too good over on BitTube or whatever that other one is he's on.
The one that's supposedly overrun with Nazis.
Yeah, BitChute or whatever it is.
No.
I stumbled across Dell on Reddit earlier.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Oh, it was fine. I just passed on information, I let him know that Polaris does move slightly, and I also let him know that he could find this information in multiple websites, and and let him know that the Earth is still a globe.
It always will be.
Didn't
It always will be.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Did he call you a wee numpty and tell you to get fucked thereafter?
No. I see. I'm very good at being pleasant when I'm typing stuff out. So after everything, I would say, I would pass on the information, and then I'd say thank you. And so his last response was, "No, I insist. Thank you." That's all he said to me.
How on earth did you tame the power that is Dell's anger? That's impressive. Hats off, man.
I have a way with words.
Oh, I've got a news flash. I don't know if you guys know about AT2 Productions and a person called Lookapig.
I've heard some things of these too, yes.
Yeah, something went down today. Shit went down on that channel today. Somebody
Oh,
was
dear.
banned. He was banned, and okay, more drama. That's all we need is more drama. There's not enough on these YouTubes.
Yeah.
He was banned from where today?
AT2. Well, I don't know. Marty Miss said I think AT2 Productions banned Lookapig today. Shit went down on that channel today. So
Actually, UDSA is basically shut down. It's not open to anyone who's not an administrator in it. And AT2 has opened a backup server in the meantime.
yeah, I found that. I got invited to that. So I was wondering why that was. So I thought something's going on.
Yeah, it's
Oh, wow.
as far as I can tell, it's not something worth looking into, and it will resolve.
Yeah, I never try to look into it. It's got nothing to do with me. I don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Look out, Huey wants to get in. We'll leave him in the rubber room for a little longer.
Huey? Why leave Huey out there?
Oh, sorry, Huey. I only just seen you. I haven't got the beeper on. I better turn the beeper on so I can hear people knocking on the door.
Because it's Terry's show and Terry can do what he wants to people in the rubber room.
I was wondering what the two. Well, never mind. I can't say that out loud.
The only thing is, it'd be alright if you were in the rubber room with other people, but you're not.
I've never actually been in the rubber room when there was another person in it.
No, you're not. You're not in a rubber room with other people. You're in your own separate, isolated.
Yeah,
isolation.
solitary confinement.
That's it. And that's a good place to put people in time out if they're on the panel and they get a bit too rowdy or whatever. I'll just put them back into the rubber room for 5 minutes.
Yeah, Blue.
Damn.
Oh, here we go. I got $100 for the shills for me subs. Thanks, Peter. Put the total up so I know what.
No.
Peter, put the total up. What the total count is so far to see what I've got.
When did Bill Ludlow die? I was just reading your. I was just reading through your messages.
Yeah, Bill Ludlow passed away, I think it was the 21st of October after battling cancer.
I had no idea.
Yeah. I found out because a family member had posted it on his Twitter. He had been fighting cancer for several years, and it just, yeah. He was a very smart man.
Yep. He had some really entertaining debunks of Kent Hovind as well.
Yes, he did. He was brilliant. But we've lost a few people this year, and it's not very good.
Yeah, South Strike, Bill Ludlow. Who else have we lost?
There's been a couple of more not so well-known people that have passed away as well. I won't name them because I don't have the right to do that.
Oh, we've got a grand total of 333. Is that million?
1,000 unicorn farts.
Okay. Oh, we're going well. should be able to get a few subs for that.
Yeah, off to
Good
Subway tomorrow, Terry.
Shh. I'll be able to get a 30 centimeter one.
You're being asked a question out in the chat about Team Trees fundraiser.
Team Trees fundraiser. I don't know about that. Hashtag trees. Team Trees.
What's Team Trees fundraiser, Gorgie?
Yes, Gorgie. I haven't heard that
Oh,
one.
and to answer your question, Marty, it was Bill Ludlow.
He worked at, I think it was the Arizona Natural History Museum. Yeah, debunked a lot of Hovind the Younger's Grand Canyon assertions.
Apparently Team Trees is a coalition of YouTubers and other celebrities to plant 20 million trees.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I saw that on a couple other channels I was on earlier this morning. Electric Boom did one. Bunch of other eclectic YouTube guys I follow.
Yeah, 600 YouTube partners.
Is this in connection with the Brazilian problem that they've got with trees?
I'm not sure. I think it's just a general global warming outreach thing. Brazil being deforested is actually a bigger problem than most people would think, simply because the way rainforests work is it's really difficult to regrow a bare patch of land.
The side chat is saying Brian's got a 50 hertz hum coming through. Oh, is it sure it's not you, Peter? Anyone else hear it? Let me know.
Yeah, I hear it.
Yeah, I can
that's
hear
weird.
it too.
Oh, sorry. I had the push to talk going on my phone. So when I put my hand down near the bottom, it registers. Let me fix that.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't quite hearing it. My hearing's not the same.
Still got to sound better than Sean trying to electrocute himself live earlier.
But doesn't sound better than Crash.
Yeah, I can put up with the robot, but I couldn't put up with the electrocution.
Well, the electrocution only lasted for so long.
Does it make
It
you
looks
smart?
like it might not be me then, because I've got my microphone turned off and they're still hearing it.
Maybe it's a frequency only really old people can hear. No, it'd be the other way around, Soul Survivor. It'd be a frequency that old people could not hear. Because there's a certain hertz range in my hearing that I have trouble with. I do wear hearing aids when I'm out in public sometimes, because some people just talk so soft. I just can't quite make out what they're saying.
Good Lord, the list of these people on this Saving the Trees list is pretty amazing. Act 17 is on it, a couple of big gamer YouTubes, Count Dankula, all sorts of strange people.
Have a look at that. Save the trees. Stand for the trees. It's called what? Team something? Hashtag.
Team Trees. It's Team Trees.
Hashtag Team Trees.
Where's your hashtag?
Okay, I have a problem with this planting of the 20 million trees thing. They realize how long they have to wait for these trees to grow before they actually do something to the environment.
It'll be a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good idea, but if you have to wait 20 to 30 years for the trees to become prevalent in their type of conversion of CO2 to oxygen, what are we going to do in the meantime?
Perfect nuclear fusion. That way we can run all the carbon capture we want.
Well, I think the noise is isolated between you, Terry, and you, Digital.
Yeah, that's a weird one. I'll do something for a minute, if you don't mind. I'm just going to mute everybody, and I want the side chat to let me know if they still hear the hum come through. Then we can isolate it from there. So if you still hear the hum, let us know. Now everyone unmute in turn should isolate it. Okay, I'll start at the top of the list. I'll unmute Blue. No, it's still there. It was still there when everyone was muted.
Yep, looks like it's you, Terry, for some weird reason.
It's you, Terry. Okay. Where would it be coming from?
It's either your microphone or your headphones, Terry. It's one or the other causing the feedback loop.
I'm not over there.
It's not feedback, it's a hum. It's a ground loop, probably. Try muting, Terry, and then disconnect and reconnect your microphone. That might fix it.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Itself.
Yeah, it's definitely coming through. I can see it on the microphone.
Christ,
So
is it
look,
really 1 o'clock?
it stopped.
I think you fixed it, Terry. Whatever you did, it's gone now, I think.
Well,
Yes,
guys,
but
I'm
I
going to
think...
call it a night. I got to watch Blue's team kick the shit out of my team tomorrow.
Okay, Brian.
Yeah, wish you guys luck, Brian.
See you, Brian.
Thank God you're using your backup. You'll only beat us by 50 instead of 70.
I don't think it's going to be that bad. But you never know.
It could be that bad. Don't know.
Lower level of hum. No hum.
So, Blue, what do you got coming up for your next video?
I don't know. Haven't made my mind up yet.
I've got no idea what's going on with my sound.
It's a
Even on my voice meter side, it's actually showing it's bleeding through on the sound bar. I mute the microphone and then obviously it drops out, so I'm trying to think of where else I can go.
something's up with the mic apparently.
Yeah, it's not the mic itself, I think it's...
What are you wiggling?
There's an on and off switch on the back of the mic. I'm just wondering if that's on its way out.
That was changing the level of the hum for sure.
But it was still humming.
Yeah.
That's something to do with the connection or the hardware settings in Windows.
I hate having these.
No, it could always go back to just dust in the connection point too.
Yeah, I unplugged it from the computer.
So, how is everybody?
Good.
Have a nice chat today?
Terry, you
Yeah.
may have to actually restart your computer. But it's still bleeding. Yeah, that means there's something going on physically in the computer through your hardware devices.
Yeah, it's coming through. Voice meter's a good indicator of bleed through, so it's whatever I turn off, I can see it's still bleeding through, unless I actually turn the mic off. That's what I'm getting. Bugger. I've even tried to restart voice meter, but that didn't help. No. Bugger. At least I knew it now before my actual show later. In another 4 hours.
That sounded like the teleporter on Star Trek.
And you guys are making fun of my robotic.
Yeah. At least they can hear me.
I only got electrocuted once. Has anybody heard from Shills lately?
No, haven't.
I haven't talked to him since I wrecked my truck and broke my phone.
No, come to think of it, I haven't heard from him in a few days.
Yeah, I've been wondering about him.
I'll damn it. If they can get my phone numbers and shit out of my old phone, I'll message him tomorrow. Make sure he's all right.
I did hear a little birdie say something about he might have had a problem with his sound or microphone or something.
Oh, I know mine's messed up. Y'all need to go to my Discord and buy knives so I can replace my phone while I'm dicking with my insurance company.
They trying to tell you that they aren't gonna do the claim?
No, I just run like 2 businesses and not having a normal functional fucking phone sucks.
Hello, 82 Productions.
What was that?
What was what?
Oh, AT's saying, sure, that's all he's wiggling under there.
No, because Aaron said it sounds like you're wiggling wires underneath your computer, and of course Jared will go with that might not be the only thing you're wiggling.
This reverb is oddly soothing. Not to me, it's not. I hate having technical problems.
Have you got a different mic you can use, Terry?
No, I don't. No, this is the only microphone I've got. I mean, I've got the headset microphone, but that's why I'm using the desktop one, because the headset one was mucking up.
There's no built-in mic on your computer?
No.
Yeah, there's a bad connection somewhere. That's probably what it is.
Yeah, it's only just come across it all of a sudden. It's not as if it was there. It wasn't
So
there
you've got a
earlier.
wiggly cable somewhere. You know, you try wiggling a few cables and unplugging things and plugging them back in again.
Yeah, I unplugged it from the back of the computer, waited a couple of seconds, and I plugged it back in again. And that didn't help. Hey, Jared.
So does your microphone connect directly to the computer, or is there an interface in line with it?
No, the single pin runs into the back of the computer on the soundboard of the computer.
Yeah, the only thing you can do is try wiggling it.
Yeah.
It's not as bad in here.
Yeah, it's perfect in here. I don't have any problem.
Yeah, I can't hear it in here. That's what I find odd, is why is it going through to
It
YouTube?
comes and goes. I mean, sometimes it's bad. It's all right now, but then it keeps coming back, right?
Yeah, it's definitely quieter in here in Zoom than it was on the live stream, which is where I'm about to say, you know, it was soothing enough. I think I might go back out to the audience. But no, it's quite the night, and figured since you were live, I'd ask. So when was Jose's stream that this is an after show to?
No, this one's Jose. I think it was Sean was on.
Yes,
earlier.
but your stupid title is wrong yet again.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Jose After Show 191.
That shouldn't be there. How did that must have came up on YouTube Studio. I didn't realise that's wasn't supposed to say that.
Leave it to a Kiwi to screw it up.
Well, it was spur of the moment.
See, he didn't deny it either.
That's because his microphone's all messed up, so his mind is totally on that.
Oh, did we get it fixed?
No, I'm still here.
Oh, that. So close.
The dramatic pause was a good effect.
Well, no, because I didn't see you muted on the panel, and it was like, oh, the noise went away. Was it fixed? It comes back a split second before you say, nope, I'm still here.
Yeah, it's bleeding through voice meter. I can see it going up on the little bars on its own. When I unplugged it or I mute the actual microphone, obviously it drops off there. I
Terry,
muted myself in OBS, and it's still bleeding through to voice meter. So it's between the computer and voice meter.
Actually, Terry, if you go into audio options.
This is Windows 10. You know, I haven't learned how to use it properly yet.
Okay, down in the bottom right-hand corner, you will see your volume button. If you right-click it, you'll be able to open the properties.
No, it doesn't right-click. My speaker doesn't right-click. The microphone thing down here, no. If I right-click it, nothing happens.
No, you need to. Well, you should be able to.
No, there's no right-click function on it.
No, because he's running through a separate system for his microphone right now.
No, because if Windows has got him running through 2 microphone jacks, that will cause the issue. So if it thinks it's got 2 microphones running, that will be causing the echo effect, which is what's causing that reverb sound.
Not echoing though. That's signal interference or a ground loop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do your headphones plug into the same spot as your microphone?
Yeah.
Like in the.
Yeah, on the board on the computer where you've got your sound inputs and your speaker output, the headphone set has got the separate jacks for the earphones and the microphone. So I've unplugged the headset's microphone and unplugged in the desktop, my desktop microphone into the microphone in. But we haven't had problems with it before, so I can't see how a hardware change or a software change has done anything.
I don't think it's got anything to do with the software. Just get yourself a new mic, Terry. They cost next to nothing. You don't need a fancy one.
Well, I was going to say, just for a test, you could try unplugging your headphones just to see. Because it could be something just in the plug-in itself.
It's not that bad, actually. You know, it comes and goes. It's all right for now, but I suggest you just get a new mic, Terry. Just get a cheap one. They cost pocket change.
Yeah, a bit hard on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, but we're guys. We like to, try to figure stuff out before we go out and buy stuff.
Well, you can buy a new mic, and if it doesn't fix it, you can return the mic. Most stores have a returns policy, right? I'll be surprised if a new microphone doesn't fix it.
Did you try Hammer?
Yeah, did you try the course adjustment before the fine? Anyone else see the question in chat from Brainy?
No, what's it say?
Question: stream titles "Dinner with Australia" and a thumbnail of a dingo running off with a baby. Offensive or funny as shit?
Funny as shit. The dingo took my baby. Get back here with my dinner, you bastard. I can't believe the beaver doesn't have a spanner.
It's a naked.
Isn't that a reference to the woman who claimed her baby was taken by a dingo?
Yes, and then was put in jail only to be exonerated later.
Yeah, I think that's what it's about, isn't it?
Yep.
Well, because of the fact that they found part of the clothing 400 meters away from the campsite next to a dingo den. And that also the cardigan that was supposedly the linchpin to put her in jail happened to be fucking desert dust.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway, back to Jared and his problems.
Show started off good, went to shit, and I think I brought it back effectively.
Yeah, but it never should have gone to shit to begin with.
What happened?
What's the best way to put it? Pig happened.
Who's pig?
You know, that's probably the best response. Now, do you remember a user by the name of Look-a-Pig, Huey?
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, I know what you mean now.
Yeah.
Oh well, that was your mistake letting him in there.
He had gotten better. He had started listening to advice of the elderly generation, but that got thrown aside tonight, and I'm not being a safety net anymore.
People like that seldomly change their ways. I've given second chances before, and it never works out.
Yeah, but you don't know until you've given that second chance.
Well, I'm all for a second chance, but that's as far as I ever go. You blow that, then that's it. You're done.
Hell, don't give them a first chance. That way you don't have to worry about it.
That's true as well.
There's a lot of people I'm like that with, because you just get that read from the beginning. Like Riley. You can just tell from the beginning he's a dishonest shit.
Yeah. Listen to 5 minutes of him or Huey or Nathan or Travis or any of these nitwits. There's no point in giving them any chances.
It's case by case, isn't it? There are certain times when a second chance isn't warranted. Well, you know, there are times when it is, and you know, I've been only give people second chances.
Yeah. Depends on the transgression.
Well, it really depends on how genuine they are. The people I just named are disingenuous, lying fucks.
Well, yeah, those people aren't. It's not worth giving them a second chance. I would agree with you right there. How old is Look-a-Pig?
Early 20s.
Yeah, well, age can, you know, have a, you know, be a factor in it, can't it? You know, well, he's just a bit young. Maybe you grow out of it, but doesn't always work.
No, that's where I hope he learns what he needs to from this.
So did you go completely dark on him, or?
I'm saving that for a later evaluation, so it's not an emotional response. Again, being reasonable and rational in an appropriate way, but at the same time, I told him before everything happened tonight that he needed to take tonight off, and he decided to go with his own course of action. Well, choices have consequences. And sorry if I seem like I get distracted every now and then. A friend of mine sent a video of talking about the Saab 35, the Draken. That an odd-looking yet oddly beautiful aircraft.
What is it, Jared?
The Saab 35 Draken. Here,
Saab 35. I'll look it up.
Is that the thing with the Delta
That's the
wing
video.
with the little winglet at the front?
So this is the one of the first Delta wings, but it had the oval intakes right up next to the cockpit.
Oh yeah. I remember those crazy things.
Yeah, I actually remember the first time I saw one, I didn't know what it was, but it was a die-cast toy that was at my grandparents' house. And it just seemed so simple of an aircraft that when I got older and was able to look into them more, it was like, wait a minute, and this thing was able to do what?
Mm-hmm.
And it served as pretty much the design predecessor for a lot of the Swedish aircraft now. Okay. Some people, when they hear the brand name Saab, they think of a middling of the pack, reasonably robust car. I think
Yeah.
I think of the aircraft.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. Saab's been building airplanes for a long, long time. They were building airplanes, I think, before they were cars.
Yep. Yeah, and that was the thing, especially in the World War II time frame into the 50s. You actually had a lot of car manufacturers pick up aircraft construction due to the wartime efforts, and then some of them just stayed that way.
Yeah, in fact, when you look at the old Saabs, they look more like airplanes. I mean, you know, the passenger compartment reminds you a lot more of an airplane than it does of an automobile.
Well, yeah,
it's their heritage in aviation that caused it.
Yeah, between Saab and Porsche, they both have the very elegant lines that, on initial look, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I could see where they kind of have that fighter plane-esque appeal to them, and then you realize just how aerodynamically amazing they performed, especially for the time period they were designed in. And there's a reason why the Porsche 911 has only had realistically minor tweaks to its body shape for how many years?
Yeah. Yeah, the Saab Draken the first flight was in 1955. Went into service in 1960. That's amazing.
Yeah,
and the last ones didn't retire until 2005.
Yeah, it was in service for 50 years. And it was actually after evaluating that, later in the video, it even mentions that the Americans tried a similar design based off of the F-16. Yeah,
Aaron really wants to come in. I told him he got voted off the island.
Oh, he did? When did that happen?
Terry?
Yes, Stavros?
No.
He never made it to the island.
Yeah. Hey, Blue, how much did she pay for that flight in that biplane the other day?
How much did Huh?
How much did she pay?
Eyes to see. You're talking about.
Yeah, she's claiming she paid $350 for it.
Blue, get it right.
Although-
It's tree fitty.
Yeah, $350. Although if you go to the website of that where she rented that airplane, the flight she took is about $100 less than that. She was in the air for 20 minutes. I timed it on the live stream that was going on. So I don't know.
A disingenuous lie.
There's some mischief going on here.
She barely would have been off the ground. Couple hundred feet off the ground.
No, they were up at my judgment. I don't know what altitude they were at, but just from my experience looking at the pictures I was looking at, I would guess somewhere between 1,000 and 2,000 feet. It certainly wasn't over 2,000. I don't think.
And also you have to look at what's being worn, because especially depending on the time of year, the temperature drops ridiculously quick once you go over 1,000 foot.
Yes, it does.
I mean, heck, you even get up a couple hundred feet and you can already start to feel it.
She even wearing a jacket.
On a standard day, it's 4 degrees per 1,000 feet. 4 degrees Fahrenheit per 1,000 feet. About 2.5 C.
Yeah, now add in the wind chill from being in flight in an open air biplane.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't want to accuse her of anything, but she picked the most expensive possible way of getting an airplane flight, other than, commandeering a Learjet somewhere.
Yeah.
She could have gone to any flight school and gotten an hour in a 172 with a flight instructor included for probably, less than $200, I'm sure. I don't know why it's a useless pursuit to begin with. She went up there, supposedly she wanted to find out whether the airplane had to bank to maintain a constant heading, which is, and I've tried to explain this to her, that's about as pointless an exercise as you could get into. The only way you know the wings are level is that you're maintaining a constant fucking heading. Your primary instrument to determine that the wings are level is the
artificial
directional gyro. No, it's not. That's what people think, and it is not. You can't maintain the wings to level with the artificial horizon. I promise you can't. The only way you can maintain and be sure that your wings level is not to be turning. You do that you have to make that reference to the directional gyro. So the very thing that you're trying to look at is the very thing you're using to make sure that doesn't happen.
True. True. So I was just used to the military bit, where it's not even really the artificial horizon, the mechanical bit that they do, is they're focused so much on the HUD and the interactive displays that they're focusing on so many other things in the instruments that the main bit is like, if I'm going to constant heading and I want to maintain a simple orientation, I make sure this is flat in my view on the HUD and I'm staying where I want to go.
Yeah, you cannot turn if the wings are level. Airplane will not turn if the wings are level. If you are turning, the wings are not level.
Yep.
It's that simple. Yeah, but more sophisticated airplanes, of course, military aircraft and stuff with HUDs, I mean, that's got a flight director in it.
Yeah.
So, all he's got to do is keep the little circle inside the big circle.
Yeah. Now, what we were saying before, not wanting to say she's being dishonest or anything, but what I would say is it gives reason to question.
Immediately, especially when I told her all this stuff before she ever went and did this. I said, you ought to at least go check out a flight school. Go and see. You can get a 172. You can get an introductory it used to be like $100. I don't know what it, maybe that deal doesn't work. But even if you took a full blown for real 1 hour with a flight instructor, it's going to be less than $200 on the 172. I guarantee you it is. So
YouTube
why go jump in a biplane where you're going to have wind in your face? Probably no chance of doing very much in the way of videoing stuff. And you're not sitting next to the friggin' pilot. You're up in the front seat. He's in the back. And somebody that's inexperienced trying to communicate with a voice operated, intercom system is probably not going to work out too well.
Yeah. Well, and from looking in the chat, I guess one of the reasons she gave for selecting that is she didn't want windows potentially being a factor.
You can open the fucking window on a 172.
Oh, I know.
It's not a problem.
Yeah, it's not a higher end Learjet that you're going in on that kind of flight.
I know. Yep. That's why I suggested the 172 to her. It's no different than the biplane. You open the damn window.
Yeah.
It's just like looking out you can't look out the front of the biplane. You got a windscreen up there.
Well, and that's another thing. So getting back to the whole temperature drop thing is, the rule of thumb that I go with when I'm on the bike is once the temperature gets below 70 degrees and I'm going to be riding, I dress for no less than 10 degrees colder than the actual ambient temperature.
Oh, you better.
Yeah. Yeah.
You better.
It's like when it's 70, 75, it can be a little bit, but it's generally nice to have that bit of airflow kind of keep you awake and spry. But yeah, 75 and up, you dress for the temperature it is, have the proper gear for the temperature it is, and you'll be comfortable during the ride and when you get there.
Yep.
But yeah, we're at that time of year where if you're going up on a plane and a biplane this time of year, you better have your coat with you.
I've never been in one of those Wacos. That's what she was in. So I don't know what they're like. I know it's pretty damn breezy in a Stearman. I've been in those things. I don't know what the deal is, but I don't know what she's up to. I know she's tied up with Travis, though, and that makes me nervous.
Confirmation bias, that's what's going on.
Yep.
But
yeah, we'll see. She released a video today and
it was just a thank you video.
Yeah, she draws a line across the horizon and says, "Looks flat to me." Yeah, you know why? Because you're 1,000 goddamn feet. That's why. Of course it looks flat. Why would it not look flat?
Now actually take something where you can determine a true level reference and measure how much the horizon dropped. Oh, wait a minute. Why did it drop?
Yeah, you could have done that. There you go. And a 172's got it only has one strut on each side. You open the window on the 172, you got better visibility than you do out of this thing. Plus, she's got a wing under her in addition to the one on top of her.
Yeah, whereas in the 170 in the Cessna, you only have the one wing above you, which guess what? You're not worried about that.
No, that won't be in your way. That one below you is in the way. I think she's just playing a game. I'm afraid she may be just playing a game. Damn, can't quite see that rudder.
No.
He's got a little rudder in it.
A little bit.
See what I mean?
Yeah. That ain't flat.
I got no idea what she's trying to represent there by doing what she did.
She's giving the reference to try to say, look, the horizon's flat. No, it ain't.
Go back to her second picture. There's clearly more pixels between the edges of that picture and the center.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but you're taking
that
it up.
one there.
Right there.
Yeah.
Not that one.
The one before or after.
Yeah.
That one.
The one you switched really freaking quick.
That one. Stop.
Nope. The next one.
Oh, gee, make your mind up. That one.
That one.
Right, you sure?
Yes.
Right.
There are clearly more pixels on the edges of that picture than there are in the center below her line.
Yeah. I saw it more in the other one, even with the variation from the topography in the one before. But yeah, both of them, they're freaking showing it. And I guarantee you, if we were actually to get our hands on the actual image for that one, the first one showing the river, I'm willing to bet we could compress it and show some curve.
That terrain up there is pretty flat.
Oh, yeah.
That's Louisville.
I'm on the itty phones.
You're on the what?
Yeah, that doesn't show anything, that one.
I have a question for you, Blue.
Yeah.
In the light plane that you fly, the light single engine aircraft, do you deal with fuel by weight or volume?
By volume.
Right, I thought that might well be the case because the diminishing weight wouldn't be significant enough to worry about, right?
Well, no. Well, let me rephrase my answer. Actually, the actual answer is both. In terms of weight and balance, obviously you got to deal with the weight of it. But the big guys, when they load fuel, they purchase pounds of fuel. We don't. We go by gallons of fuel.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Or liters of fuel. Yeah, I don't tell the guy in the truck, hey, put 300 pounds of 100 octane low lead in. No, I tell him I want 62 gallons or whatever.
But then you will take the weight into account for your weight and balance, yeah?
For the weight and balance, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
We figure half gas at 6 pounds a gallon.
That's what I was wondering.
Yep.
Yeah, it comes with a 6-stacker CD player too.
You familiar with the Gimli glider, are you, Blue? Yeah,
I am.
Yeah, that's what went wrong there. They converted the volume to pounds instead of kilos. And
yeah, they messed.
Pound is about half a kilo. They only had half the fuel they needed.
Yeah, they messed that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that's an oops.
And unfortunately, the FQI wasn't working. That would have caught it. So they just programmed what they were told they had into the flight computer, and that's the only way they knew how much fuel they had. But of course, they only had half.
Hey, it's the radar aperture right there in the middle. Well, the screen. Yeah, especially that generation and next couple gens of the into the first gen of the pulse Doppler radar, the actual way it presented on the screen was not what you would expect. But then again, the movies get a lot of stuff wrong.
Yes, they do.
Hey, but Gravity's a documentary. You know that, don't you?
Yeah, okay. Actually, wait. Before you go to the next image, does anyone want to take a guess what that is?
Hang on, let me have a good look.
Without reading the text.
No.
Well, actually, I figured it out without reading the text. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the rim air turbine.
But why is there a weight on the turbine?
So that's not. So that's actually a protective shroud. That is essentially an APU, an auxiliary power unit. So.
Yeah.
When they're in flight, they'll drop that out to spin it to actually spin the turbine. But when you're on the ground and doing maintenance, you don't want to walk into those blades. You will cut up your head fierce.
The airplanes to this day have these things.
Yep.
Jetliners have them. That's referred to as a RAT, R-A-T, rim air turbine. You can deploy the RAT and have limited power to take care of some of the avionics.
So that works like the little prop on the 163 Comet, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
a pump. It's a hydraulic pump, is what it is.
Yeah.
That's what they had to use in the Gimli glider when they ran out of fuel because they had no power. So they deployed the RAT. That thing pops out the side of the bottom of the fuselage there, and it spins in the air current, and it turns a hydraulic pump. So you got emergency power then. Only for essential systems. It's not enough to power up the whole aircraft. So they didn't have any flaps for one thing, but they had basic instrumentation and flight control command.
Aaron's crying because you're censoring him.
Oh, I'm not censoring you, Aaron. I've got his email. I can always send him a link.
No.
For the smoke. He paid $70 to be on Sean's show earlier, so you're worth what, 150?
Nah, don't sell them that short.
Well, Jared, I am raising funds through PayPal or
Yeah,
some
Tree Fitty.
similar. Okay, to raise
Fitty.
funds to buy some subs. So,
That's right.
Nice.
So by subs, you mean sub sandwiches for all of us that are on the panel, right?
just subs.
Yeah, I'll take a turkey breast and ham on rye.
And we're talking about airplanes, Aaron. What part of this are you going to object to?
Yeah. What input have you got about airplanes, Aaron? You come up with a good question or something about an airplane, and
It's because they're anti-gravity devices.
I'm gonna have to see if anybody makes a model of this at fly. I had to dig around on some obscure websites and see if I can find a phone version of this.
Of what? The Saab or one of the others?
Of the Saab. It's a good looking plane.
Oh,
I had a model of that one.
The 37 or the 35?
That was the 37
Yeah.
with the movable front wings.
Yeah, the canards.
Yep. The Aardvark was better.
I don't know. I still say the special emoji I have over at my channel is even better. Granted, it is a big old bird, but goddamn, could she get the job done? The F-14.
Oh, yeah. Everybody loves a
F-14 Tomcat.
Yep. That bird is the reason why I picked the Navy over the Air Force, and I got to work on one hands-on when I was in Oceania.
Tomcat, that was the plane they used in Top Gun, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yep.
And
I
now,
watched it. Go ahead, Jared.
well, and now they're actually showing off the Super Hornet in the next one. Which kind of makes sense because
I watched a $30,000. I watched a $30,000.
a $30,000 what?
radio controlled Tomcat.
Is that one of the ones where which scale was it? I've seen videos of a couple of them, and there's one guy that'll actually articulate the wings mid-flight.
We had a full wing articulate, the wings articulated on it. Twin, what the hell was it? Twin JTAC turbines in it. Cruising speed about 250 mile an hour, and we had a wing pivot failure at a wide open throttle.
Oh,
There was nothing left.
No.
He came in for a nice low pass and went to climb out at the end of the runway and didn't really climb. Made it to about.
Sorry. I was just
Kind of
just
made
saying,
it to about 15 degrees and just disintegrated.
That's
Yeah,
a drop
that is-
tank on the belly of that thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Either that or a very large bomb.
Nah, it's a drop tank.
yeah, drop tank. Even I knew that. For some
Yeah, I
reason.
can tell by the profile.
But I thought a delta wing was always considered a less stable craft, harder to handle and fly well.
It really depends. They are more sensitive to weight and balance because a lot more weight ends up aft of the center of gravity of the aircraft, which is what causes that instability. But here's the thing. Instability in an aircraft, especially a military aircraft, to a point is actually a good thing because that actually means its handling characteristics will be sharper. So like when you look at the F-22,
Well, yeah, same with the car.
yeah, a slightly unstable airframe is easier to turn, but at the same time you don't want it so unstable that it can't be handled.
Yeah. I was just thinking back to the reputation that the B-58 Hustler got for a delta wing, that didn't have a very long production life because of it.
No, the only aircraft that actually did have a long life that I'm aware of as a delta wing is the Saab 35. Combination of Douglas and NASA, when they tried a variant of the F-16 in a delta wing configuration, they had a hard time with the weight and balance because the initial balancing of everything in the fuselage was with the standard wing configuration, not the delta wing. So when you had that extra weight towards the back, it threw off the aircraft more than they had initially anticipated. It was still flyable, but not for a military application. Oh, Allie, you are a comedian. I will give you that. Oh, Allie, you are a comedian.
Aaron's having a dig because we're not pilots.
No, not a pilot, a maintainer. So I was the one fixing the shit that the pilot did.
Yeah, I've only built airplanes. I've never flown them.
Define pilot.
Blue's a pilot.
They're
Because
small airplanes.
A lot of the time, a pilot will have absolutely no idea how the fucking thing was constructed.
I'm an AMA certified instructor. Does that count?
AMA
Okay,
in
yeah.
Australia is the Australian Medical Association.
You know, the pilot is oftentimes the person on the crew of what it takes to put up an airplane that knows the least about them.
Most of the pilots that I actually had to deal with firsthand, we would get into arguments about some of the systems because they thought they knew better. And granted, they knew a lot because they had to be as close to an expert as they could be for the aircraft that they were flying, especially fighter jocks, because as a single seat military aircraft operator, you are the pilot, you are the navigator, you are the radar operator, you are the in-flight engineer. Every individual job that would be covered by a multi-person crewed aircraft is being done by the pilot in a single seater. So those guys, yeah, they'll know quite a bit, but they'll still get little shit wrong.
That's like in the car business. You get some hotshot driver, and they certainly are good at driving, and they certainly know some about cars. But then they try to start talking to the designers about how to improve the suspension or braking or something, and they have no clue what parts are even in there.
Yeah.
Crash can agree with me on that one, I'm sure too. There, yeah, he's muted. There he is.
Drag race works when it comes to setting up transmissions. Them guys have no clue what's going on.
Yes, I will agree with Crash
Yeah.
in saying that the driver does. Oh shit!
No, I was about to ask him if it was a drag driver who put his internet together tonight.
No, I hit a deer and I have a junk $9 phone because my good phone got broken.
Yeah.
No, we're still going to give you crap though.
You robot science quite a bit even on your other phone, Crash. It's your location, I think.
Location.
But this one is exceptionally bad. You're right.
Yeah, location is part of it, but combine a crap location with an even crappier device. Yeah. You
Wrap some tinfoil around your head.
Actually,
Yeah, then
wrap some tinfoil around the phone. It might get better antenna reception. Piss off, Terry.
Well, I'll say this: it might be a cheap phone, but at least it's a smartphone to where you can actually be on Zoom.
Back to what you guys were talking about, though. Yeah, it's probably not a good idea to let the pilot be working on the airplane.
Now,
he's most likely going to screw that up.
Yeah, the only one I would consider being okay with that if it was a character like the one Louis Gossett Jr. played in Iron Eagle and Iron Eagle 2.
Yeah, that's all fiction.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
I'm letting Aaron in, but he's only coming in under probation. As soon as he derails or causes an argument, I've got my fingers straight on the kick button straight away for him. So you behave.
45 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm glad my phone's acting up.
We can sum it up this way, though. Or Jared, I'm sorry. We can sum it up this way. Pilots don't stand a real good chance of working on airplanes, and mechanics don't stand any chance of flying one of them.
This is true. Very true.
The last mechanics to fly their own airplane was Wilbur and Orville.
Yes.
Yeah,
Bicycle
and-
mechanics.
Well, and they went, what, a whopping couple feet in the air for 20 feet?
No, I think the films I saw, they look like they're 10, 15, maybe even 20 feet up.
Hey, Wilbur, who was one of the people who invented powered flight, also got to see us break the sound barrier. Now that's a pretty good
Did
fucking
he?
stretch.
Yeah, he survived that long. Yep.
That's neat.
Yeah. He
Wow.
flew at a height of 12 feet for, what was it, the length of the B-17 bomber's wingspan?
It was, I think it was the span of a 747.
Chuck Yeager's still around, isn't he?
Yeah.
Didn't he get to set the New York to LA speed record in an SR-71 before he went down for good?
No, I don't think it was Yeager. In fact, I'm sure it wasn't Yeager. I don't think Yeager ever flew a SR-71.
Now,
There's
okay.
only a handful of people that ever flew one of those things.
Yeah, I think like 80 guys, something like that.
Maybe or less.
Time
Yeah.
for some research.
That was a very special breed.
Yes, it was.
Hey, Blue,
I
was
love that
the-
one video that goes around where one of the pilots is telling some war stories about it, and that discussion of it was a big penis waving battle between pilots in the air and the control tower about speed, checking speeds and stuff. It's like an 8-minute video. I'm not going to quote it, but it's just outrageously funny.
Oh yeah, that's yeah. What is that guy's name? He's Jesus. I'll think of it in a minute. That's a really, really funny routine he does.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Blue, it's Aaron. Was
Hey.
the SR-71 a single seater, wasn't it? Right.
Nope.
Twin.
Nope.
A total of 478 total people have flown in Blackbirds.
SR-71 was a two-seater. The A-12 was a single-seat variant.
Cool. Okay.
Oh yeah, the CIA version.
Well, the SR-71 was the CIA version. It was a reconnaissance version.
I thought that the silver one, the AFY-12, Y-12,
The A-12 was the predecessor to it. That was what the Air Force was originally designing as a single seat. And it was when the CIA got involved and said, hey, this flies really high, really fast. We'd love it for reconnaissance. And that's when the mission profile changed and the final design was done.
And then there was that oddball variant that I believe it was for training, where there was another cockpit kind of like slapped on top of the whole thing.
Yeah, they built a trainer that instead of having the radar and reconnaissance net set in the back seat with the streamline going, they put a second pilot's seat and had it raised up a little bit. That way the trainer in the back seat could take over when needed.
Hey, Terry, I'm being good. This is Aaron. I would like to know from the panel, Blue or the guy that was just speaking, where was the air tunnel to figure that fucker out?
The wind tunnel testing?
Orville Wright did it. What are you talking about, Aaron?
Well, you don't just build a bird like that and go like, well, let's hope it flies.
Well, no. So here's the thing. The vast majority, if not the entirety of your wind tunnel testing on an aircraft design is not done on a full-scale model for most of the aircraft of that period. They did it on a smaller but proportional.
Most aircraft is only wing based, right? You only do the wing mostly.
No.
They do the whole
the whole body.
Whole
that
aircraft.
Blackbird was a full wing in itself, right, Blue? Or am I wrong? Or
Well, no, the Blackbird was mostly a lifting body.
Okay. I will.
Can somebody interpret the crash?
I will interpret that what Crash was saying.
Okay.
The SR-71, just like the F-14, is what was considered a lifting body aircraft, which means the body of the aircraft itself also produced lift.
Sure.
So while the SR-71 gave the appearance of being nothing but wing, the aircraft that is a true full wing aircraft is your B-2 and YB-38, I think it was.
Oh, yeah, but those came after.
No. The 38 was designed in the late 40s.
Okay.
The flying wing design dated back into the end of World War II.
Yeah, but not operational, right?
The
Not
Germans had 'em.
No,
they had flying models.
They had flying versions of it. It was
The
just
Germans had 'em.
German had the Horten 229. That was a flying wing, and that flew.
Okay, maybe German. Sorry, I'm not German, so I didn't know of their technology.
No, even the U.S. had one after we had gotten to literally tear apart a few of the German ones.
All I asked was Blue. Where's the wind tunnel to test that? Because I'm interested. I want to know, like, how the hell
Each
put
manufacturer.
that fucking bird in a wind tunnel and
Nobody ever does that, Aaron. Nobody. What these guys are trying to tell you is correct. Wind tunnel testing is done on small scale models. A large supersonic wind tunnel might be 18 inches in diameter. I'm not kidding you.
Okay.
It's really, really small. You cannot move that kind of air that fast. I mean, you can't imagine what it would take to do that.
especially for that thing. Yeah.
Supersonic wind tunnels. We actually had one at the University of Alabama, and that thing had air tanks, huge friggin' air tanks, size of your
What
house.
was the max airspeed?
Couple of them.
though?
Huh?
What was the max airspeed, do you think?
It was a supersonic wind tunnel. What does that tell you?
No.
Really
Are you
fast.
breaking sound barriers with that thing?
Really, supersonic implies breaking the sound barrier. Yeah.
I know.
Yep.
Well, that's amazing. When I say no, I mean wow. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
And another thing, as for locations of where they had these wind tunnels, each manufacturer had at least one of their own that they used for their in-house testing when they were designing an aircraft. When you get to something like Boeing with the Skunk Works, they had their standard wind tunnel for their publicly known aircraft, and then Skunk Works had their own entire testing platform.
How do you know?
Oh, Aaron.
You're doing it again, Aaron.
Aaron.
Because
Sorry.
when you're
I've
a
got-
junkie about something, you learn this kind of stuff and retain it. It's called memory.
He's
Yeah.
talking about this super secret Skunk Works that nobody knows about, but he acts as if he knows where it's at.
No,
There's lots of stuff that's come out about Skunk Works
everybody
that's
knows where
public
it's at here.
information.
yeah, Skunk Works. The secret part about the Skunk Works operation is what aircraft they are doing. They are going to limit knowledge of the aircraft that they are designing and testing by literally keeping as much as they can inside the building. This includes building of the scale models and testing of the scale models.
Do you work for Boeing? Because my sister does.
And guaranteed, if she's not part of Skunk Works, she has very little insight, if no insight, of what they're working on.
How do you know that?
Because that's the way you keep secrets. You compartmentalize. You don't have everything all in one spot. You keep people in one group don't know what the people in the other group are doing.
Hang
Lots of
on.
ways to keep secrets.
So,
Tell me about
couple-
Skunk Works, and my sister can.
no,
Aaron,
I can tell you of their existence. I can tell you of basic industry standards, but the specifics of what they're doing, the only people that know the specifics of what they are working on are in that building.
You're
And
talking
by
about 40 or 50-year-old technology, Skunk Works, right?
they're
Don't
still active
pretend
today.
Don't pretend like it's brand new, okay?
That's Skunk Works.
I read Wikipedia too. I understand. What's Skunk
Yeah,
Can-
my
can I
knowledge
present?
predates the internet.
Can I
You
please
can-
present?
You
present
can look
them, Peter.
up. You can look up the Skunk Works in Wikipedia, Aaron.
Okay, so
Yes, Blue, I have.
Yeah. It all goes back to Kelly Johnson. It's been around it's been around forever. Everybody knows about it.
All I asked you was I'm very impressed with the SR-71 and its outdated history now. I mean, it's works.
can
But I was just thinking, like, man, how do you wind tunnel test that? There is no
Aaron,
there's no one set wing, and I wasn't talking to the guy that's talking right now. I was talking to Blue to see
Aaron?
like.
Me.
don't be rude, Aaron. Don't be rude.
Because I
I'm
like
presenting.
versus the guy that keeps fucking over talking Blue right now.
Aaron, you're gonna get kicked if you keep this shit up.
Aaron, you were talking to myself and Blue at the same time. You actually addressed both of us when you came in. Now, for a fifth time, the wind. Yeah, you addressed both of us because you said Blue and the other gentleman that was just talking. That was me. So, again, for a fifth time, wind tunnel testing on an aircraft is done by a scale model, typically about the size of your keyboard.
Now, I muted Aaron for the only fact was that he behaved himself. So I'd say just sit back for a minute, Aaron, and let us tell you about things. And the questions that you are asking are too baited in the context of questioning. Some of the facts, yes, we can verify certain facts, but you don't have to ask the person, oh, how did you get this fact? Where did you get this fact? You don't know this, you don't know that. That's not the way I like things done on this channel, okay?
Yes, sir, Terry. I agree. That's why I specifically asked Blue about possible wind tunnel testing on the SR-71 wing. There are no wings. The whole goddamn thing's a wing. But Jared wanted to speak up, so I'll sit back quiet, Terry, to respect your channel. I'll sit back.
Hey, Jared, could I make a comment?
Sure.
You know, the one interesting thing about having wind tunnel testings and that sort of thing is that the more often you test and the more data you gain, the better the computer model you can build, and so that you can effectively do a limited amount of wind tunnel testing right in a computer model, that you never even have to take it to a wind tunnel until you get into, you know, more detailed finalized plans. But you can do a lot of experimentation just through modeling.
And even then, you don't. When it comes to testing an airframe, the only time that you will do a full-size mock-up is when you're doing actual stress testing of either individual components of what is planned to be the aircraft, or testing entire assemblies or the entire aircraft itself. When it comes to the wind tunnel testing, that is done in small models that are scaled to the appropriate size with the proper shapes to match what the planned build is at that time, and then they tweak and adjust it from there. They don't actually fly the aircraft or test it for flight worthiness until they have the prototypes that are actually ready to take off in air itself with a test pilot.
I think we might have a beaver or a brainy beaver. I'm not sure yet.
It's a wet beaver.
It's a wet beaver.
It's a naughty beaver.
But it hasn't been shaved.
Let's not talk about wet beavers, okay? Come on.
Can I go back? Can I go back to something Aaron did mention, which is something that I find more interesting in comparison to modern day technologies to do with wind tunneling, which is known in certain aspects. But back in the day when they did first develop those cloth type wing planes, they wouldn't have done such a wind test tunnel type on it. It would have been just, yes, we know the shape of a wing which would create lift, and their testing would have just been full scale.
Not entirely. The Wright brothers developed.
Yeah, you got me. Okay.
You're there.
The Wright brothers developed their own wind tunnel for testing their wing warping design.
Actually, even all I'd really jumped in for is the Avro Aero project in Canada, which I think were we not the first ones to break Mach 2 or something like that with the Avro Aero? And the way they did the entire project is we didn't have a wind tunnel. And so what we did is they built models and they fired them with little rockets on the back, and they literally watched them with binoculars and watched to see the wing stability as they flew. And they kept modifying the models and firing models. And only more recently, scuba divers have been going down into Lake Ontario and actually finding the old models, and we've gotten a few of them and put them into museums now. But they fired hundreds of models out over Lake Ontario, just watching them with binoculars, and only at the point where they felt the stability was right on target did they call down to the United States and book the wind tunnel that was capable of doing like up to Mach 2. But I can't remember the Mach, but I remember at the time the Americans had not been able to achieve that Mach number, and we did. And so it was a big, it was a big thing for aviation.
Don't discount the Canadian, because yes, I'm American.
Well, half of NASA was made from that program.
No, you guys have.
Well, you know what happened is that, okay, so Diefenbaker, under pressure from the United States, because the Avro Aero was the most advanced jet in the world at the time, like as far as what it could do, and they were afraid the world was becoming a made in America place. America truthfully didn't really want this fighter to exist because they didn't make it. That is the truth. And they pressured our government to destroy it because they didn't want it to exist because we built it, but their excuse was that they were afraid the Russians were going to get a hold of it. So our government eventually actually destroyed all the fighters, destroyed all of the blueprints, everything was destroyed like it doesn't even exist, and to the point where a lot of Canadians don't even know the history of it. But the truth of the matter is that they were the first ones to actually break a certain Mach number, and the Americans, like in the made-for-TV movie, they were like, oh, the Canadians booked the wind tunnel, and they're like, well, what are they trying to book it for? And they're like, Mach whatever, and the guys all laugh and everything, and because they hadn't been able to do it, so they thought there's no way the Canadians are doing it. And I guess when it went down, they kept cranking the Mach number up, and the way they do it in the movie is somebody, like, this is apparently true, somebody like walks over to a red phone or picks it up, it's like, you might want to come down and look at this. Next thing you know, the room's just full of badges on their chests, like watching this thing break.
I'm giving full props to the Canadians. Yes, Sea-Doo, your jetliners, just massive.
Well, that's why Boeing was so upset with Bombardier for building that C series. Oh my God, they hated that thing.
Yes, I'm giving full props. Yeah.
Tight.
But all I was going to add to that, just to finish, is that after that cancellation, a lot of the Canadian aerospace industry got, basically all the people were laid off and they had no jobs, and NASA came up and said, oh God, we've got jobs for you. And that's why a lot of NASA engineers at the time were actually Canadians.
Scott Crossfield broke the Mach 2 barrier.
Well, I can't remember what it was, but at the time it was a certain Mach number. It might have been Mach 1, to be honest with you. I can't remember. It was very early.
Can I just throw this back up again, Terry?
Oh, yeah, I was just showing what Crash was showing with this wind tunnel thing. It only goes for
I'll wait.
2 minutes. So, yeah, you got a minute and a half to go.
It was Mach 1.9 that it was able to achieve, and I believe at the time America was able. You guys weren't able to achieve something past Mach 1.5 or 1. It went faster in the test, and then the actual fighter jet was proved it was capable of doing that.
Yeah, the Avro Aero CF-105.
It was a beautiful aircraft. If you look at pictures of it, it's got its own entry in Wikipedia. It was gorgeous, but it's been totally destroyed.
About what year was the Canadian Mach number achieved?
I don't know the exact details, but I know right here it says it achieved reaching Mach 1.9 in level flight. But the one I'm talking about was not during actual flight. It was during testing. It was during the wind tunnel. Like it wasn't like, I think it was at the time, at least in wind tunnel tests, we were able to get our craft to go faster than anything at the time. But that was probably because once, I think it was that they figured out how to put body lines. Basically what had happened is the model, they couldn't get it to fly stable, and then somebody had accidentally nicked the side of the model, the clay model the guy was building, and he created a little, he just scratched along the side of it. And I guess the way they do it in the movie is the guy was like, Eureka, and he started taking his blade and he started shaving like a body line into the side of it, and it totally changed the air profile. Well, after they learned that, fighter jet designs changed.
Hey, Big Blue, what year was the SR-71 officially launched?
I don't know. You got Wikipedia?
Can
I
I,
don't. By the way, but I'm
Terry?
gonna
If you let me
guess,
present, I've got the
Yep.
answer to all that.
Yep, you can present
yeah,
now. I was
late 60s, maybe early 70s.
No.
Just-
Late
just-
50s.
Just give me a moment.
50. Oh my God! See, I was 10 years behind.
1966 it was introduced is what
There we go.
comes up on Wikipedia.
Yeah, so the design phase started in the late 50s, around the time the Avro Arrow.
So
Because
if you
the
have a
Av-
look up on the screen at the moment,
And it flew on its maiden voyage. So didn't it fly it at least over Mach 1?
so if you look up on the screen at the moment, on the 25th of April in 1962 was the first flight of it, as in the official test flights. And we went through, going down to 477 pilots and navigators that flew in it. But these are only the people that flew above Mark 3.
Wow.
And this
Mach
short
3?
list underneath are the people that didn't make it over Mark 3.
Fucking Mach 3, 1,800 miles an hour, right? Or more?
About
2,000
2000.
miles an hour.
So this goes into a bit of the history about Oxcart and all of that type of stuff as well.
That's just fucking nuts. So, Canadian guy, when
Brandy Beaver.
Yeah.
when Canada had the first mock fest? Tell me.
I don't. You're calling me out like I have some sort of vendetta to have right here, and I just don't remember.
No. I was just asking. So,
I'm looking at the Wikipedia. I don't quite remember. I mean, truth be told, it's not something I care about on a daily basis.
okay, well, you had a good presentation. I just want to bring it back down.
No, that's fair. I'm looking for it here. There was some achievement that they made at the time that was significant. But you got to remember, those achievements only last for like a fucking month, because as soon as the American scientists figured out that that's what you got to do, they were just pumping the same thing out like the next day, because of course we shared technologies.
Absolutely. Cold War. You know, we have to go fight a pandemic.
Hot mic, Jen.
Nobody fights Australia. Why not? Why don't we fight Australia?
Jen, you got a hot
See,
mic.
like-
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I keep muting different people because there was sound coming through and I didn't know where it was coming from.
I thought it was still
why don't
muted. I'm
people
sorry.
fight Australia?
Yeah,
Why would you?
I wouldn't. Definitely, I wouldn't. I've met Aussies, and I would never go fight you guys.
Can somebody
we'll
share
mess you
the
up with a
picture I
milk
just
crate.
posted in the?
Another picture? Okay.
Where did you?
Yeah, I got it.
You got it.
You guys have kangaroos. Fuck that.
Yeah, they used Rolls Royce engines.
There you go, Aaron. That's the model they used to wind tunnel test the SR-70.
And I believe the Avro Arrow model was similarly sized. It was the
That's
same
pretty
kind of
cool.
thing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, I'm not discounting the bird itself. I was just wondering, just asking Blue if he knew anybody, because he's fucking smart as shit and knows lots of people. Maybe how it was wind tunnel tested. But yeah, if you put a model in there, damn it, and then you build it and you fly it, like that'd be badass, right? From small scale to big scale, that'd be sweet. It just shows true engineering. That's what I'm saying.
Welcome to your introduction to the aviation industry.
No. I know. I understand that.
One. The engines were the real beautiful part.
Oh yeah, especially with that center spike to deal with the compression that they had to deal with just to get the air back down to speed so it can actually combust properly.
It's called an afterburner.
For that aircraft.
No, the afterburners on the back end.
No.
The spike at the front end, the leading end of the engine, was designed in such a way and was even variable in its depth out in relation to the speed. That way you weren't sending supersonic air into the compressor of the engine, because if you do that, you're not going to get combustion. You're going to lose power in that engine. You're going to lose flight and you'll crash.
So are you trying to tell me that those engines were run on compressed air?
No.
No.
I'm just
Where
joking.
on earth did that conclusion come from?
That's a joke.
Guinness World
You
Record
have to-
recognized NASA's X-43A scramjet with the world speed record of Mach 9.6, nearly 7,000 miles per hour.
Yeah, I get
Scramjets are awesome.
Yeah, I love air flight. It's awesome. Yes.
Scramjet. Yep.
What's the difference, Blue, between a ramjet and a turbojet?
Huge.
A ramjet and a turbojet. A ramjet's basically a pipe. That's the easiest way to think about it. A pipe with a constriction in the middle.
Yeah.
And all you got to do is get the air going in the front end of it fast enough, and you can ignite the fuel, and it will sustain operation as long as you keep going fast enough. What was your other one? Turbojet? That's
The turbo.
Turbine jets, or that's
Turbine, yes.
yeah, acronym for, or shortened version of turbine. It has a set of a bunch of sets of turbine blades in it. It's got compressor blades in the front end that suck air in and compress the air, and then it's got the actual hot section.
He's not getting confused with the turboprop, is he?
I haven't gotten no. That's I'm just talking about it. I'm talking about it. That's the turbojet or turbine jet engine. Then there's a turbo fan version, which is what you see today. These are bypass systems where the front stage, the front end of it's a big fan, and it sucks in and blows out a hell of a bunch of air around the outside of the engine itself, and compresses the shit in the middle. It's really a turbine driving a great big fan. But
just looking.
I just fly these damn things. I don't build them or design them.
Yeah,
It looks like part of the reason the Avro was canceled was because missiles had been invented, and they said that I guess Russia was replacing bombers with missiles, so the need for having intercept fighters was also dropping.
Anyway, thanks, Blue, for your explanation. That was nice.
Terry,
Yeah.
I put a picture of a B-2 bomber in the Fairsuck. If you want to share that,
Oh, I've got to go all the way over there, do I? Okay.
I'll get it.
and let
Terry.
the smart guys talk about that for a bit.
The B-2 is an amazing bird and very difficult to fly in a scale version.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I'm gonna jump off, guys.
Yep.
I just
Later, Beaver.
wanted to come in and you guys started talking about that shit, and I wanted to throw Avro in the mix.
Hey, Beaver, before
Brainy
you
had
leave,
to do the "What about me" bit. What about me?
Pretty much.
before
Terry,
you leave,
I'll start dropping them in the side in like internal chat for you.
Yeah, it makes it easier.
Oh, that's the B1B. That's the bone.
oh, I said B2. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
So,
Beaver,
I have a
before you
question
go,
about B1.
let's not forget who built the big arm for the space shuttle.
Both of them, the one on the space station too, and we've been asked to build the one for Gateway. And but that doesn't mean there's so many companies that could do that. It's just that we did the first one, and so we were given the courtesy of the option to do the second, to do all these ones. Apparently, if we didn't sign on for Gateway, they were just going to very quickly move to Germany. So,
Well, I'm glad you guys got it.
well, it's nice to have the work. It puts a big, a lot of the pictures have that beautiful Canada on the arm behind it, so it makes
Yep.
it feel good. Don't forget
just
the
don't
landing
fuck it up.
legs for the Apollo lander were made in Canada. So technically, Canada touched down on the moon first.
Yay.
Hang
Yeah,
on,
they-
Made in
question is,
Ontario.
but question
Let's
is,
go
Brainy,
bacon.
where did they get the material from to create the legs?
Probably
Bacon.
American aluminum or something, I'm sure.
Seattle.
Wouldn't it just suck if it came from Australia?
Yeah, back then much was coming from that far, though. Let's face it, they were probably just digging it out down the road.
Australia is
We got the
indispensable to the
pictures
space
first.
program.
We
We've
got
got
the
you
pictures
guys got
first.
the guys got the antennas for communication. That's kind of important.
Fucking Aussies have everything. They just don't give it away. Fuck you guys.
I saw Holes. What movie is that? Where they just keep digging holes. Isn't that in Australia? I don't know.
Oh, bloody the
Builders.
castle.
Anyways, back to the bone. What is it?
Okay,
that you-
I'll get out of here. You guys have a good night. Thanks for having me. Appreciate you letting me.
Thanks, Brainy.
See you,
See you,
Brainy.
Brainy.
See
Take
you,
it easy.
Bernie.
Hey, tomorrow face reveal, 3:30 CST. I don't know what the fuck time that is for all of you. You're gonna have to figure that out.
Plus
3:30 Central.
15.
Later.
Plus
Oh
15
my
for us.
God. You're in the future. That's right. What's it like? Do they still eat sandwiches?
Can I share my screen?
I don't know,
Hey,
can
talk to you guys later.
you? Later, Brainy.
See you, Brainy.
Hey, guys,
I just thought that the guys might have a little fun talking
Oh,
about.
you can't
an
share it if
aircraft
I'm
that does
still
that.
sharing, sorry.
No, we were seeing it.
Somebody
Hey,
else
guys,
wanted to share.
Yeah, the SR-71, which basically is no wing, right? It just is the precursor to the B-2.
No,
which
it's
is
not.
bad.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's not. Not at all.
Not even close.
Easy. I'm not
Entire
I'm not an aerodynamic-
characteristics.
Just listen, okay? What about the B-1?
That was what you were just looking at on screen.
Yeah. The fucking high altitude, that little thing with like little tiny wings, right? That was badass.
The
Also,
B1?
The B1
B1 is a
does not have
big-ass
little
air-
tiny wings.
Yeah, the B1 was not high altitude either. It was actually
Oh, okay,
medium to
okay,
low
well,
altitude
maybe-
tactical.
hey, maybe you guys can correct me. I'm talking about like a little fucking dick with like these long ass wingspans, and Blue knows when they took off, you had to put runners on the outside of the wings because they flap.
You're talking about the U2.
That's the
U2,
no,
Yeah.
not the
The
B2.
U1, right? The U2.
But,
U2,
alright.
not the B2.
Oh, all right. The U2 had
Sorry.
runners on the outside, and also the buff, the B52 did. So you're
Gotta
talking
do
about
that, Riggers.
yeah. So
Now,
are you
how-
talking?
how-
Are you
how
talking
the
about the
fuck is
bomber
that thing
or
fly?
the? Are you talking about the bomber or the surveillance craft?
I'm talking about the U2. Yeah, the spy plane.
Okay.
Definitely what we would call spy plane. How the
Reconnaissance, but
did
okay.
that thing fly?
It was not supersonic.
It's a high glider.
It's
Yes.
yeah, like a real big glider.
It's,
Yeah, it got up to altitude and then
But gliders
off she
have
went.
big ass wings, right?
So
Yeah.
it used because they had to go up so high in the
It was-
atmosphere, and it was
was
before
flying
the
up- Yeah, it was flying up at 80,000 feet,
Yeah.
and it didn't go that fast. It didn't have that much horsepower.
and
Yeah, which
It
is
had to have
Hey.
that much wing to keep it up there.
Okay. Hey, I'm not the enemy here.
Yeah, it was a flimsy kind of little thing.
Asking, yeah.
But
That's
And they're still in use
And
today.
you know they're still flying them? NASA still flies them as research
Yeah.
aircraft.
because they're cool as shit.
Although the ones they're building today are about twice the size of the original Kelly Johnson U2. They're quite a bit, well, maybe not twice, but they're quite a bit bigger. I've seen one.
What do you mean?
Oshkosh.
What do you call that? The fuselage is twice as big, or the wing is
everything.
The whole airplane's bigger. They scaled it up.
the whole thing? Okay.
Yeah, they beefed it up so it could actually carry the test payloads that they're using on them at altitude. Whereas the original design was just for the camera equipment, which, relatively speaking, was light. so it didn't need to be that big of an aircraft by comparison. But with NASA and the other test agencies wanting to use the platform for high altitude testing, it needed to have a higher payload capacity.
Can you see my screen, Aaron? Can you see what I'm showing there?
Yeah, I see. Yeah,
That's a turbofan engine.
Turbofan.
Yep.
That's a turbofan. If that's what you're asking about, you can see the primary rotor at the front there. You can see it's pushing air back, bypassing it, right? In the center, there's air going into a compressor, mixing with fuel and igniting. That's the jet engine part of the engine. The turbofan also produces thrust.
Yeah, I understand how a turbo works.
That's a turbofan engine, if that's what you're asking about.
Yeah, I understand how a turbo works.
No, it doesn't work the same as your turbo on a car. It's a different.
Yeah, not even.
I know. Listen, there's everything. Blue knows. It's all about air compression and ignition.
Not completely in a turbofan.
The
air
bypass
compression
part of the engine, Aaron, the bypass part of the engine, it's just pushing the air back through a bypass. The center part, that's where it's compressed and ignited with fuel. That's what a jet engine is. The old jet
hold on,
engine,
where's it ignited? Where at? Right there.
The yellow red part of it.
Yeah, the yellow is your compression. The red at about the 2/3 line of the way back is where the actual ignition takes place.
Yeah, I understand that. And the ignition spins that little tiny combustion chamber it's in, the fan chamber it's in. It helps to spin the big fan out front, right?
Yes.
Right.
Oh, wow.
So it's a bit like a hybrid between a turboprop and a jet engine. That's what a turbofan is.
Well, yeah, so, and here's the big difference between a turbofan and just a turbojet engine. If you take off the big fan blades at the entry, you get rid of those. Jen, hot mic again. You take off those big fan blades at the beginning so you don't have that bypass flow.
Yeah, also because you needed to put the battery lead back on the battery.
Oh, demonic. Hot mic.
Hot mic, demonic.
Davros, hot mic.
Davos, family time, right now.
Aaron?
Yeah, I can't click two things at the same time.
Yeah.
I've only got one mouse, one hand, one mouse.
So you get rid of those. You get rid of those big blades at the beginning, and all you have is that center core. That is your turbojet engine. Now, if you expand the prop out forward and put a traditional propeller on the front, now you have a turboprop engine.
Right. So this is like a hybrid. Most modern commercial aircraft have this kind of engine now because they're more efficient and they're not as loud. They can't go as fast actually. There is a speed limit for a turbofan, but most airliners use these.
I never even asked about that, but now I know because.
I thought that's what you might have been asking about. What did you say, turbojet?
Yeah, that's what I always thought. He might have been confused with a turboprop and a turbojet.
Out in front of a turbofan and put a prop on it. Oh my!
Yes. Look up the P3 Orion. Look up the P3 Orion. Look up at the C-130. The Hercules.
What I'm saying, Jared, or whatever your name is, yes, I understand this already. I never had a question about that. Never. Okay.
Well, then
it's not just for your information.
Not how you're coming off, though, Aaron.
Doesn't matter, Aaron. Doesn't matter, Aaron. There's other people that like to know information in general, anyway.
True, Terry. Yes, you're right. So,
can we bring up a pulse
extend a crankshaft off the front of that turbofan engine there? What would it become?
If you did a what?
If you extend the crankshaft there off that picture you have there, and you put a prop on it, what would happen?
That is a turboprop engine, the same type of engine you see on a P3 Orion. It just like you see here, except you're moving the fan blades that are directly in front of the compressor. You're moving them out, and it's turning a prop. It's turning a propeller blade.
What does that do, though?
Lower speed aircraft still. So the progression went from a propeller rotary engine to the turboprop engine,
Terry,
which was
I'm
a
so-
hybrid of an early jet engine and a prop engine, which gives you great low-speed maneuverability and stability with better fuel efficiency compared to a pure propeller-driven aircraft at the time.
Terry, now I'm trolling.
Yeah, you better not be.
I don't get it. I don't understand. What if you have a one blade prop, or do you have a
No,
two blade, or
most
How
of
do
the number of blades depends on the efficiency you're going for.
Terry, I'm fucking with you, man. This is
The
like,
P3s. Hang on. I'm gonna make you regret
this
asking
guy's
this.
buying it. He's buying it.
Oh no,
fucking center.
a dumb
No, Jared's
fuck.
not. Jared's not stupid, Darren.
Oh no, dumb
No,
fuck.
but
See,
I'm
here-
not interested. I already know what he's
Oh
talking.
really? Then why are you sounding like a half retarded drunken monkey?
Because he is.
This is the price you pay
Maybe I
for
am.
it.
Evolution,
Trolling.
bro.
You go and ask the question now. You got to sit and listen to the answer.
Evolution.
It's okay.
Big
Continue,
Blue,
Jared.
I asked you the question.
No,
not
Jared. Continue, Jared.
So if you really want a prime example of a turboprop engine, look up the P3C Orion, which when it retired, 4 propeller blades per engine, 4 engines per aircraft, 2 per wing. Funny thing enough, you take the wing of a P3, the wing box with the 4 engines on it, flip it upside down, guess what you have? You have the wing for the C-130, the Hercules.
Or look up the Embraer or the Saab that every commuter airline in the world flies. Those are turboprop.
I've got a couple of requests internally. So I've got Peter's first, then Crash. I don't know which one's which.
Mine's just a picture of the. It's the wiki page for the U2 out of Lockheed.
Didn't we just look at one of them?
No,
No, you didn't bring it up.
We've had up the SR-71, the Avro, and the Bone, the B1.
So that's the U2 there.
I put a link, by the way, in the chat for the actual wind tunnel testing for the SR-71.
Okay.
And for your information, the supersonic wind tunnel testing was done on a 1/25th scale model. A 4% scale model.
Oh, I missed yours, Blue. Sorry, I should have scrolled back up. I missed your presentation.
Hey,
Oh, I
Blue.
didn't. I just stuck it in the chat. That's all I did. It's over in a link to it if you want to read it. I don't know why anybody would want to read it. I didn't want to read it.
Just a
But you
badass
did
question.
anyways.
Terry,
I couldn't help myself.
Terry, I was hoping you could bring that B1 picture back up.
B1. Oh shit.
So that's the
What's
one I.
that one. I'm confused now. I've got all these
We
different
talk
planes.
ramjet.
The B1 was.
We talk ramjets.
What was
Everything
the
else,
plane
and
with
we
the cloud
discussed
around it?
pulse jets.
Who put a link for the one you're talking about?
I brought it across from Discord, Terry. Oh, it's the one you put up first up.
Not that one.
Hang on.
That one or the next one?
The next one
Nope.
after that.
Hey, Terry.
Not that one.
There you go, Terry. I've posted it fresh.
Not that one.
Terry.
Terry, I've posted it fresh in the side chat.
Not that one.
Not
That
that,
one,
one.
yeah.
That one.
Aaron, can you explain to me what's going on in this picture?
Oh, I know.
Sure. That is a supersonic. What do you call it? Yeah, I will say effect, but blast.
Why does it do that?
I know.
Like, look, I don't know the proper term for it, but it's a supersonic.
No, that's okay. I don't need to know the terms. Why does it do that?
Boom. What did you say? Boom, Jose.
Well, no, because it didn't make any boom when it went past me, so it wouldn't be a sonic boom. I'm just wondering why it does that.
Well, actually, I wouldn't actually. If I looked at that right there, I would just say that is condensation off the wings. I would not say that's supersonic. However, when a jet does go supersonic, that's kind of what you see with beyond the nose, towards the tail. You may see an effect of condensation, evaporation of the air, and something like that.
Well, now I didn't get a picture of it, but about maybe a half second after I took this picture, the cloud went away, and then about a second or two later, it came back. Why does it do that?
You're kind of throwing a straw man at me, because when you show me a picture,
I'm asking a question.
I'm thinking it's going super fast. That's what I'm thinking. I'm just thinking right away it's going fucking fast as shit. So when I see a cloud behind a jet, yeah, I'm gonna think first of all supersonic.
Aaron, you need to understand what happens when a plane breaks the sound barrier.
Yeah, what supersonic? Yeah.
Yeah, it creates a shock wave that excites the molecules of air around it.
Okay, like I just described, yeah.
But it is not condensation, nor is it evaporation.
Regardless.
Do you want to be correct in your understanding?
What is the supersonic wave, gentlemen?
You were just explained that, had you been listening, but what you are seeing here is not the result from that velocity. Because here's the thing, an aircraft can actually have that happen just simply by turning the proper way.
Yeah, that's what I said too. I retracted my statement on the first fucking, view of your picture. I said, wow, it looks like it might be supersonic. But then I retracted that and said, well, it might just be condensation, evaporation, whatever, of a jet.
No, it's not condensation then evaporation.
How do you know? What makes a cloud?
What is happening there?
You think a cloud is not condensation?
What is happening there around the aircraft is the result of rapid pressure changes due to the aircraft going through the atmosphere.
And the atmosphere is what?
Is air.
I can also tell you that below this aircraft is this little puddle of water called Lake Michigan.
Pretty funny. Pretty funny when I'm taking a 35,000 feet. Just normal cruising altitude in my 787. Ice builds up on my wing. Why is that? Why does ice build up on my wing?
Because it's very cold up there.
Because the temperature. No, it's temperature drop.
That's what condensation is. Come on.
No, it's not.
Okay.
No, condensation is from a temperature variance, not a temperature drop.
What's the difference between a temperature variance and a temperature drop?
When you're inside your house and then outside it's cold and inside it's warm, and then you get condensation on your window, that's a temperature.
Terry, I'll respect you and not speak anymore on this topic.
Terry, can you put up that green and the one with plants in it? I don't want to give it away.
So that's the big one over Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
Cool.
No, the third one that I uploaded.
Wait a minute.
In the internal chat, Terry, I just dropped it for you.
I've got that many links, I don't know which ones are which now.
Did
No, not
somebody
that
ask
one.
me a question?
You need more tabs.
Oh, that one. No, I've got plenty of tabs open.
That's the problem.
Granny Jen would like the one that I just dropped in the side
You're
chat.
talking about this one.
Yeah,
Night
explain to me
Crash.
what's going on here.
Does it
Barbie's
have to
right
do
there
with
for me, go.
unicorn farts in there as well?
No, that looks like flamingos in a grassy field.
It looks like someone had some fun at the dollar store.
Somebody spent some money.
That's a neighborhood I used to live in.
Crash is going. Thanks for dropping by, Crash.
Bye, Crash.
See you, Crash.
See you, Crash. Next time.
Bye, Crash.
Good luck with your mud truck.
Vibrantly Sexy said, I didn't know this was going to get sexy. Well,
Barbie
Jen's
dolls
here.
aren't exactly sexy.
Wait. Jen's here. How did you not expect that?
Gosh, yeah.
It's a bit of a jump from flying to riding.
No, flamingos fly.
No. It's not quite a jump. All you have to do is join the Mile High Club.
Hey, you guys are in the mood for showing photos, obviously.
No, we're not in
How
the
about
mood for showing photos. We're
Well, they
educational
are.
purposes.
That
Yeah,
was just
they are.
that was just an icebreaker.
Yeah, they are, Terry. Not you, not me. I mean, we're just sitting here chilling. But these guys really want to show photos. So how about they show photos from last night's video of Dwayne Kellum's video, and they show it at 10,000 feet, 50,000 feet, and 100,000 feet, and we look at the curve. Okay? That might be good. Might be good.
I like this image.
That is funny.
This
Why's
is
the
bad.
astronaut cranky at the cow jumping over?
Because he pooed on the windscreen.
Yeah,
Oh.
look at what the other one's doing.
Oh, he's
Terry,
cleaning it. Oh, he's
Terry.
cleaning it off the windscreen. Okay.
Terry, it's America. You don't question us, okay? You do not question what we do.
Oh,
That's
you're one of those
exactly
people that
what
thinks America is the greatest thing on earth? Forget it.
Absolutely.
Terry, question us all you
Do
want.
not question. You never question our motives.
You might
Why?
want to retract
Aaron,
that
may I ask a
statement,
question?
Aaron.
Aaron, may I ask a question? How old are you?
What would it matter? if I told you?
Average age.
Ballpark.
I'll give you straight up. I'm 43. 43 years old. Born in 1976.
Okay, just curious. Your voice sounds a lot younger than that.
Yeah, it does. I know. I look younger also.
Well, that's good because when you're old, then you'll look much younger.
And you'll be a
Some
lot more
people-
wiser.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Terry, you
hold
might
your
want to
breath,
retract
Terry.
that statement.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought that
No,
was.
Terry,
thought that-
Terry, say it
No,
again.
no.
Say that one more time.
Older and you may not be wiser.
Pete Shea has proven that wisdom and age don't bear any relationship to one another.
Exactly. So yeah, that's why it doesn't matter how old I am or whatever. Yes, I am 43, born in 1976, graduated in 1995.
So you're a bicentennial babe. Well, that's cool.
Absolutely. So I've been around the small block, let's call it. Some guys might call that a 350 small block Chevy. But I've been around
So
the
were you
small
afraid-
block.
Were you
you've been around
Were
the
you
little
afraid to
block.
try to go around the big block?
I don't want to mess with big blocks, man.
I'm not that old. I only just seen the Apollo moon landing live in 1969, so I'm not that old.
When did you land?
When did I land? I didn't say I landed. I said they landed on the moon in '69. I seen it live. So I said I'm not that old.
When did you land on Earth? When did you land here? What year?
I didn't land it there.
I told you I landed in 1976. Come on.
I said I seen the moon landing in '69 live.
You've seen it. Okay.
Yeah.
So
On the TV, obviously.
What's more, he remembers it.
how old were you? How old were you when you watched that?
I was
Were you
in primary school, I think, at the time. Yeah.
primary school, and you saw it. Were you in Australia when you saw it?
Yeah, I was in Australia.
Geez, so you had TV.
Yeah, we had. Of course, we had TV. But it was at a neighbour's house from the school. The school didn't have a TV, but one of the neighbours did near the school.
Just asking, just running around. I'll bet Terry was born in 1947. 48.
Hey, Jen, I'm older than you.
I guess.
Wow, so you were 21 and still in primary school. God
Yeah.
damn, Terry.
Yeah, I was a late achiever.
Are you wearing Depends yet, or what?
Depends on the day.
So it was 58, right?
Yeah, that's a bit close. That's a bit closer.
After World War II?
After World War II, yeah.
Hey, Terry, I've got a picture that Jared would probably appreciate sharing.
Yeah, you can share.
Well, someone else has to stop sharing first.
No, I think you can just block
Intense
it out.
nudge.
No, I think you can just block it out. Or I don't know how that works on your side.
No, it doesn't.
You know what that is?
An aeroplane.
Yeah.
That's a Lockheed Constellation, isn't it?
No, it's an Avro Anson.
Oh no, that's too small,
Yeah.
too thin.
Yeah.
Way too thin.
I'm involved in a team that's restoring this Avro Anson. Yeah, we've been working on it for 7 years so far.
That's beautiful.
I like the picture of it where it was originally found.
Oh yeah, that's shocking, isn't it? There wasn't much of the original plane left. No.
I was going to ask, how many original parts are you actually dealing with? Like 5% tops?
No. I call bullshit. How
What?
many pistons are in the engine on each side? How many pistons per side?
7.
Seven.
I think.
Yeah.
I think they're about 7. Yeah.
You want the firing order?
No, I just
I can give it to you.
You got that memorized?
I do.
1, 5,
One-
3, 6, 2, 4.
No.
7.
No.
So it's only a 6.
Oh, it's one. God damn, come on. 1, 3, 5, 7, 2, 4, 6.
What about the other side?
Same.
The same, but in reverse.
Same engine.
Hold on. Don't they rotate in different directions?
I hope
Why
not.
would they?
Okay.
Only once.
Not all twin engines are counter-rotating.
Yeah.
If you have a look at the blades
very
on them,
few are
if you look at
counter-rotating.
The props,
if you look at the air screws on them,
props rotate.
Yeah.
How do you say that,
Yeah.
Blue?
Aaron, if you look at the air screws on them, both of the air screws are actually facing the same direction, so that means both the engines have to turn in the same direction.
Yeah. I get it. But the
Yeah.
props rotate. How do you call that, Blue? They rotate. If you're looking at it head on the nose, the props rotate
Counterclockwise.
Clockwise. Both of them.
Counterclockwise.
both clockwise. No.
Looking at it where you're from where you're looking at this airplane, those props would rotate counterclockwise.
Both of them.
Both of them.
No.
Blue, are you sure about that? It looks like the leading edge on both of them are out towards us, so it does look like from our vantage point they would be a clockwise rotation. From the pilot seat it would be a count.
Oh yeah, left
It would be a
wing
counter.
and right wing. Left
Look at the right.
right wing
Look at
props spin. How do you say it? Counter circular to each other to reduce the pitch of the airplane. Right? If both props spun the same way, you get that.
Hang on, let me go grab some Thousand Island.
I'm just asking.
In this age of aircraft, they didn't actually do that.
Well, this one won't fly ever again. It'll only taxi because the original aircraft had wooden spars that went right through the body from wingtip to wingtip, but we couldn't do that. So it was just too much to do. We couldn't do that. So the wings are separate, so it won't ever fly because it won't have the strength to fly.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you had a fixed wing aircraft with two props on the very extremities of the wing, and they're both spinning the same way, you get a pitch.
No,
Wouldn't you?
no,
No.
nope.
I thought, Blue. I'm just thinking that they move propped engines to the center of the airplane, and they spun them in different directions so that you wouldn't get the gyroscopic effect of the engine rotation. But
You
maybe I'm
can't
wrong.
eliminate the P factor associated with a rotating prop, unfortunately.
Sure, you can. You
And
can.
no,
count
you
it.
cannot. You cannot eliminate the P factor. That's what's called P factor. Not gyroscopic effect is just a part of it. But
What would be the difference of one prop on one side and one prop on the other side spinning in different directions, but with a
if they spin in different directions, the only thing it does is it eliminates one engine being the critical engine. They're both critical then.
no, they have different pitch props.
They don't have different pitch props.
No.
The props are variable pitch anyway. They're constant speed props. Okay. The props aren't fixed pitch on a normal. I don't know about that thing we were just looking at.
That was a fixed pitch. Yeah.
That could be fixed pitch. Yeah. In today's aircraft, you wouldn't find any piston engine like that. It didn't have a constant speed prop on it.
No, I understand constant speed prop. I'm talking about dual engines or four engines.
Do you?
On a wing, not in front, but on a wing.
Okay.
Where else are they going to put the engine?
On the front.
Then why are you saying somewhere else on the wing?
Okay. But that would be a single engine on the front, okay, or on the back. When you go dual engine, all I'm just asking. You guys calm down. When you spin two engines on a wing the same way, in counterclockwise, whatever way they're fucking rotating, you're gonna get a climbing effect of the prop, and it's gonna want to roll the aircraft. That's why I'm asking Blue, don't they spin the other engine on the left wing the other way to counter that? Okay, but they pitch the prop the other way, so it still draws in there. It still draws in, does what it does, but it counteracts the right wing. Let's say. That's all I'm asking.
You can have counter-rotating props. Most airplanes don't. Usually, twin-engine airplanes, both engines rotate the same direction. And on new aircraft, piston-engine airplanes, they'll from the pilot's seat, they're rotating clockwise. You have a thing with with a prop or a piston-engine airplane called P factor. P factor is a yawing motion. It is caused by a number of things, probably 200 or 300 things if it really gets right down to it.
What's it draw?
The first effect is the fact that the prop blade coming down on the right side takes a larger bite out of the air than the prop blade going up on the left side. That wants to yaw the plane to the left. The second factor that comes into effect is the gyroscopic effect of the rotating mass itself. That produces also produces a yawing effect to the left. You get a spin, and this happens on single engine airplanes. You get a spinning effect of the air coming off the prop that wraps around the fuselage and strikes the vertical tail on the left side, which again yaws the plane to the left. Okay, and finally, you've just got the engine torque itself. So those are four major factors that play into P factor.
Sure,
And
I've
it's
seen.
the reason why you hold you have to hold a lot of right rudder to keep the plane centered on the runway. Now, on a twin engine, you've got an additional problem. They're both rotating the same direction. The P factor from the prop blade on the right-hand side is further out the wing than the P factor from the prop blade on the left side. So when you lose the left side engine, that's your critical engine. It'll have more effect. It will produce a much harder yaw in the airplane. Now, have I got you completely confused?
No. Because
Okay.
I've seen videos of when they're, let's say, the Grey Goose, Howard, what's his name?
Howard Hughes.
Howard Hughes.
Spruce Goose.
They spun those engines from the left wing to the right wing. They were spinning in opposite directions.
I said you can do that.
Yeah.
But all that happens when you do it is you have made both engines the critical engine. That's the only thing. They're both critical.
I'm just saying.
I believe the P-38 was a counter-rotating system.
Yeah, that's just what I was looking up, and it is. You could tell because the leading edge of the props themselves are in opposing orientation.
Mm-hmm.
No. They spin them. You can see guys standing there spinning the props.
Holy shit, dude. Before you even watch it rotate, you can tell the intended rotation direction by seeing which is the leading edge of the prop blade.
I'm talking about crankshaft rotation.
So am I.
Okay.
The propeller is not going to spin in a different direction than the crankshaft it is connected to. So rather than watching and waiting, you can just look at the orientation of the propeller blade to know which direction it is intended to rotate in.
No. I was asking.
Yes, you can.
I was asking Blue if on a winged engined plane with prop wing engine plane, do they or do they not spin in opposite direction to counteract the gyroscopic effect of an engine and the blade?
It
Now,
won't counteract anything
went
anyway.
into much more detail about.
I think he's trying to say that they balance each other out, that they cancel the effect side to side.
Sure. Yeah.
The short answer is most modern aircraft do not. Some older aircraft
I'm
did
not talking
try
about
it.
modern. I'm talking about winged double engine.
You are talking about a twin engine wing mounted propeller aircraft. Again, short answer. Some do, some don't.
Okay, show me the example that some don't.
He just explained it to you.
Piper Aztec.
Okay, but most do. Right? Most do, but some don't.
No, most don't counter rotate. Most do not counter rotate.
I'm not sure that's right.
I'm
I can
quite
argue.
sure it's right.
I'm gonna say.
I'm quite sure it's right.
It'd be hard to if they weren't doing that.
Which, by the way, here's a good example of one that does counter rotate. The P-38.
My point exactly.
See,
There we-
some,
My point exactly.
not
Thank you.
all,
Yeah.
not all. No.
Show
No.
me an example of some that don't.
I just gave you. You want me to look it up for you? Aaron?
Hang on.
I'll give you a list.
I will look it up in a moment, but what I pulled this up for was to show what I was talking about. You don't have to wait for this to actually rotate to know which direction it's going to rotate in. All you have to do is look at
Your
that
enemy, not
edge.
your enemy.
No,
I'm-
you're a jackass. That's even worse.
Why? Why?
You're
'Cause you
acting
ask dumb questions.
No, you're acting like an 8-year-old. You claim to be
talking to
you
Blue
claim
about prop rotation, and you jumped in, and
You're talking to all of us.
Yeah, you're talking to a group of people. There was a lull in the conversation. I piped up because I am an aviation enthusiast as well.
And expert.
Fuck you! I never claimed to be an expert, jackass.
You've talked over.
Again, start acting your age, not your mentality. You are not 8 years old. If you want to continue to act like that, I will treat you like you're an 8-year-old, which it's 4 a.m. Shouldn't you be in bed? Anyways, back to what I was saying. Simply by looking at the orientation of the blades of a propeller, you can tell which direction it's going to rotate in. This one is going to rotate from our view counterclockwise, and this one will rotate from our view outside of the aircraft of clockwise. Yay.
Nighttime, daytime, nighttime.
But not all twin prop planes do that.
If you just look at the picture, that old one that was being restored, you can see that the props are both in the same direction.
Yep, that's what I was getting at. Yeah, the really fun ones are the twin propellers on one engine that counter rotate. Those.
Yeah, the contra.
Jared, I'm just posting a link on the internal chat that might help.
Yeah, I don't understand how those contra props work. Somebody's gonna have to explain that to me sometime.
What about a helicopter with two props to counter?
Oh, I've never seen that before either. Wow.
So it has to do with the gearing. You actually end up having a planetary gearing setup.
Oh no! I understand how it would be built. Why? What is the purpose? How do those
planetary gearing? Come on.
If you look at gears in a planetary cluster, will be able to be designed to go both directions. That's no big deal. That's done all the time in transmissions and stuff. What I'm wondering though is the aerodynamics. What happens to the air as it goes through those two props that are counter rotating?
It moves backwards from both of them, so it doesn't really matter.
If you just give me a second.
You got 2.
I got 2. Oh, geez, it might take me that long to get it up. Buggy.
But Blue, why wouldn't you just have 2 blades that are both going in the same direction then?
Or why not just have an engine that's timed backwards that runs what we would call backwards, instead of counterclockwise, it runs clockwise. Why not do that? With a blade on it so that the plane flies straight.
All right.
These guys get triggered when a guy like me asks this question.
Well,
maybe
you should bring that up to Boeing.
Don't worry about it, Blue.
Yeah, write a letter to Boeing.
I already know the answer, Blue. The answer is yes. That's exactly how dual prop plane wings mounted engines work.
Can you click on that picture to make it bigger? The one.
That one there.
The one under the biplane.
This one down here.
Yeah, this one under the biplane. Yeah, that one. Can that one?
Ooh, I have a question for Aaron. What happens when you actually have a 3-engine propeller aircraft like the Heinkel?
But they can spin 3 different ways. So one can spin counterclockwise, one can spin clockwise, and the other one can spin
upways.
Or the Ford tri-motor was one too.
Or tell me where. Okay, you have 3 motors. Where's the first one? Where is it?
On the nose.
On
2
the
on the
nose.
wings, 1 on the nose.
Good. Where's the second one?
Come on, Aaron. Stop being a
Where's
dick.
the third one? It's over there.
Aaron, it doesn't matter.
No, it does, because you guys are pilots, obviously. This whole show is about...
I'm not a pilot, but I still have some knowledge. I don't have to be a pilot.
Are you a mechanic? Do you understand about engine dynamics?
What? Wait. I just want to say something. I just want to make it abundantly clear, and this is the attitude you're giving, Aaron. You saying, but you're all pilots, is like me saying, but you're the reason why your mother wished she swallowed.
Say again, you cut out.
That's what she said.
He choked on it.
Hey, you cut out. What? Say again.
You said you and the attitude you are saying of us all being pilots would be similar to me saying you're the reason your mother wished she swallowed. Just remember, all mommy wanted was a back rub.
What do you wish? What was the reason?
Oh, jeez.
Not worth it.
I think that answers your question, Jared.
And he was supposed to be the smartest, fastest sperm?
Jared, not Jared. Aaron, you know your questions make you seem less smarter than what you could be.
Terry, if I could talk to you, that would be okay.
But I'm the least as smartest person on this panel. I got nowhere near the intelligence of even
me.
Granny Jen.
Yes.
Since you asked, I'm going to put a picture up for you.
All right.
But Terry, every time I try to ask Blue a question, Jared jumps in.
Well, Blue might not know the answer, so it's open to the panel to answer the question.
Yeah. But
even I might even answer it for you.
Okay. All right. No big deal then, right?
Oh, are those all counter rotating props?
They're all contra.
I mean,
yeah, they're all contra rotating.
What the fuck is that?
I can't.
Gotta love the Russians.
I can only hear one person at a time.
Aaron doesn't matter. Don't worry about it, Terry. That's one of the Russian Tupolev bombers.
What a wild ass design.
To have propellers going opposite in each engine, would the engine have to have more torque available to it to be able to the wind resistance to power it or whatever?
No, it's all gearing for the internal prop.
You don't necessarily need more horsepower to make it work, but you're going to have a certain amount of sacrifice just because you have more friction and equipment involved.
Yep.
You absorb energy in the rotating mass.
On the left wing, they actually improvised a planetary sun gear to make the prop spin the opposite way, even though the engine is spinning in counterclockwise direction, just like the right side.
Can you see the screen, Aaron?
When you scroll down, it did say something about torque and something.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, there. According to my experiences, you have two problems with props. Yeah, I was thinking of torque.
Is that big enough? I can't see it on the screen.
Yeah, it's big
Terry,
enough.
I understand torque. I get it. I understand crankshafts, torques, rod bearings, all that stuff. Yes. Let's go.
You're an engine builder?
I have.
Very good.
Ever have experience with a desmodromic drive?
Never a desmodromic drive. Nothing like that.
Aaron, do you know how to say the word no?
I said no, not a Desmond.
Yeah, no, stop. You say no, and then you shut up.
Demonic. No.
Jared, is that one of your
It's the valve
decimals?
control. It's the valve
Demonic.
control in
Demonic.
my engine
Demonic.
on the bike.
Demonic. No. So you know.
I have a one-word answer for you.
Yeah, goodbye.
Bye. Or was it mute?
Well, mute for now. That's his hint.
Better yet, silence.
Yeah, but this. Yeah, silence! I kill you! But this is the problem, okay? And it happens with all the flat earthers. You ask them a direct question that they know nothing about, and they have to go on a diatribe about why they don't know it. Just say no, I don't know.
Demonic, I did not go on a diatribe. I said no.
But then you didn't have to say anything else after that. That's the problem you have, Aaron. Someone will ask you a question, you will say no, and then you will try and repeat back the word they said to you without knowing what the word is.
No.
You want me to replay it?
No. What I said, Demonic, was you. Sheesh. Okay.
Oh.
But before that, you butchered a word.
You raped it absolutely and completely.
I wouldn't have even tried to repeat the word.
What word was that? Rotational?
No, Jared asked you about a certain type of mechanical
transmission.
It was transmission, was it? Okay.
Desmodronic?
Oh yeah.
The Desmodromic drive. It's actually valve control.
Jared, can you please repeat transmission you're talking about so to comprehend what you're talking about, please, sir? I'm sorry.
It is the valve actuation of a twin-cylinder engine. Actually, they use it on the 4-cylinder ones now too. It is called a Desmodromic drive.
Is that the one? It's actually a geared setup of some sort.
Fully geared, positive actuation to open and close.
Yeah.
Is it CVT at all?
No,
that wouldn't be CVT at all.
Although they did on later iterations, newer iterations of the valve timing, they do have a variable 12-degree adjustment.
No, what do they do for that? Of course, it's going to be very accurate. But
how does the
reduce rotating mass
work? How does the lockup work or the band mechanism work if it's an automatic? I'm not even
sure. No. It's not the transmission. It is the valve control, the intake and exhaust valves. They're positively controlled both to open and close.
An automatic transmission, or what are you talking about?
No, it is not a transmission. It is an engine assembly. The cylinder head.
Does the
intake and exhaust valves?
Okay. I thought you were talking about a transmission.
No.
The name could steer you off into that direction.
It is called a Desmodromic drive, which it controls the valves, the intake and exhaust valves of the engines installed. Cam. Yes, it is
cam control.
Versus your traditional cam shaft. Your traditional overhead cam is positive open only, and then a spring-loaded return.
Sure.
My favorite engine, it's positive control in both directions.
How do you operate the valves in your situation there? Because I'm new. I'm cam control, roller lifter, valve rockers, all that. But how are you doing it? And why not just use what?
Have you ever heard of the vehicle brand called Ducati?
Of course.
I'm sorry.
If you're familiar with the brand, then you should have known what the Desmo drive is.
241 mile an hour top speed record, yes. Okay. Right? Or am I wrong? Or no?
240 mile an hour in what?
Top land speed record for a sports car. A car.
Ducati is not a car.
Yeah, the Bugatti.
Ducati. D-U-C-A-T-I.
It was the Bugatti. Sorry, not the Ducati. It was the Bugatti.
Again,
and you've
act
got
like an
the-
8-year-old, get treated like an 8-year-old. Is it
I
time
corrected
for bed?
myself. Come on, I corrected myself. It was the Bugatti, not the Ducati. Now,
Yeah,
I will go
and
back
you
and
even got that number wrong.
I will go back and say, Jared, continue on so I can learn about this new valve train.
Oh, it's not new. It was initially designed back around the turn of the century.
By who?
1900, by the Italians.
Germans, Italians, yeah. And how does it work, kinda? Or can you give a small, just a quick explanation?
Hang on.
The valves in the engine go up and down, up and down, up and down.
Inside, outside.
Let's go with this one.
Here we go. Wheels on the bus go up and here we go. Here we
Just letting you guys know we're going to be finishing up really shortly, so...
Aw, we're just starting to have fun.
Well,
this is
come on, Harry, we're starting to have fun. Come on.
this is the
in
after
about-
pre-show.
Yeah, this is the after
the best part.
before show, yeah.
Oh fuck, that's exactly what this is pretty much what I have in my little 1.8 liter BMW motor.
We haven't even
Yes.
previewed ourselves yet. We haven't even previewed ourselves.
Again, do you see any springs up here for the valves?
Oh, it's too small for me to see.
Yeah, a little bit small.
Belt driven.
Okay, good point. That's the one difference in that.
Belt driven shafts.
The BMW still relies on a spring valve
I
closure,
see,
so you could still
I
have
see
flow.
animation. I see a belt. What's that belt doing? Oh my god, what's that belt doing?
The belt is what's driving the cams, which is driving the valves.
Hold on.
Positive
I thought this
open
was
and a positive
non-camshaft.
close.
I thought this was a non-camshaft motor. Non-camshaft. I'm all about camshafts. Dual cams. 4 cams. Let's do it.
So where's the springs?
Yeah, where are they?
In your pictures.
There's no springs in that.
Yeah, I don't see any springs in your pictures.
Exactly. That's the desmodromic valve train.
Yeah, Honda use it
no
too.
Springs.
Honda
Okay,
use that
explain
system.
your desmodromic. Explain it, because I'm going to look it up.
You're looking at a picture of it. It uses belts to drive the camshafts that make the valves go up and down.
Gee whiz, you're looking at your standard 4.6 2-cylinder engine right now with the belt.
I thought it was a single cylinder.
No, it's two.
Yeah, even single.
90
That's
degree
a twin
matter.
cylinder. You got one pointing horizontal and one going vertical.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
But
see
again, positive open, positive close. No spring return.
Could you pause that rotation?
Unfortunately not. It's a gift.
Okay.
I'll give you.
I will say that GIF was pretty badass. It was pretty cool.
It'd want to be
Yeah,
because it's directly from an AutoCAD drawing.
It was pretty badass.
That system was really a kick to take one apart and put it back together first time.
It's a bitch and a half. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh well, I enjoy that stuff. So
Well, no, the reason why I say it's a bitch and a half is because of all the shims that you have to deal with.
yeah,
The tolerances would be fairly tight on it, wouldn't it?
Exceptionally.
Tolerance is tight. If you need shims, then your machining is not good.
No, well, that's what you should.
Shims are for fucking pussies. They can't fucking machine.
No, that's what the shims are for, to take up the tolerances.
No.
Yes.
No. A crankshaft never has shims.
We're not talking about crankshafts. We're talking about a valve train.
So when you put bearings in a car, and someone says that your tolerances are tight on the bearings, what's that mean?
You need new bearings.
No.
Or your crankshaft.
No, bearings loosen as they get older.
If I put brand new bearings in a car, if I rebuild a motor and put brand new bearings in, and I put the motor together and the engine is tight, that's saying that tolerances are very tight.
Your crankshaft are out by about 5 thousandths. About 5 to 10.
Terry, I dropped a link.
Yeah, I have to agree with that, Peter. That link that you posted.
I dropped a link in the side chat. I wasn't going to put it up because I've got too much respect for you.
You can put as many bearings in a crankshaft as you want, but if your crank is out, let's say journals are off, let's say oblong.
I won't put it up until you tell me I can put it up, Terry.
I
don't see what Aaron's problem is with tolerances to do with crank bearings and cranks.
Like I said, if you read the link in the side chat, Terry will explain it all.
Yeah, can I just make a statement?
With crank bearings that are too tight, you're going to have a problem as they heat up.
Well,
can I make this statement, please?
I'm going to bed.
Yeah, okay, Blue. I'm finishing up anyway. I'll be back in an hour and a half.
Yeah, I'll be sleeping.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
The trouble with our flat earth friends is not that they're ignorant, it's just that they know so much that isn't so.
Alright.
Thanks, Simon.
I'm going to share it, Terry.
Yeah, it might be better. I can't get it in properly.
Alright. There you go. I thought the rest of the panel might like to read that.
By the way, I changed the words to make it sound more relevant.
What did you change it to, Demonic? What was the new word we have?
I changed it from liberals to flat earthers.
Oh, jeez.
Tomato sometimes.
I like talking about engines, but anyway, we'll finish up for now. And
I'm not an expert on engines. I've only built about 100 or so.
It's okay. I wasn't talking.
I've built the same one about 100 times. Does that count?
I don't know. How many parts did you have left over?
I had 3 bolts less every time I did it, and geez, she got light at the end.
I think there's a break in the conversation. Can I talk now?
Sorry.
Please.
No.
No? Okay. Well, we're finishing up now, and we'll be back in an hour and a half for our normally scheduled program, which will be our 9 o'clock. And I've got no idea what time that is for everyone else. So we'll see you guys then, and hope you enjoyed the after, pre, before, something like that. Anyway, thank you. See you again. Thanks for everyone on the panel for joining.
Thanks, Terry.
Bye now.
You bet, Terry.